just look at what Joe Biden has tried to do in the space of 1 short year to this country. He has turned the FBI of the United States on the parents of the United States. Can you believe it? Treating parents at school boards as if they are domestic terrorists, sending FBI agents to go and knock on people's doors if they have the temerity to stand up and say, I don't want my kids to have to be masked in school. I don't want my kids to be taught critical race theory. He's tried to use the instruments of our own government to divide us, to separate us, to turn off speech that he doesn't want, that he doesn't like, that he doesn't approve of. And that's just getting started. Look at what he's done on the southern border. You know, sometimes we say it's chaos at the southern border. That's not quite right. Actually, somebody is in control of the southern border. The problem is it's the cartels who are in control of the southern border. But in the state of Missouri, where I'm from, we like to say that we're a border state too. And then look at what he did in Afghanistan. I have never seen an American president who would leave behind hundreds, if not thousands, of American citizens to the enemy and say that the operation was an extraordinary success. Do you remember that? Afghanistan wasn't an extraordinary success. It was an extraordinary failure by Joe Biden. It was an extraordinary collapse by this administration. It was the worst foreign policy disaster since the Vietnam War. 13 American service members, brave Marines, other members wearing the uniform, were lost in Afghanistan guarding Abbey Gate because Joe Biden wouldn't order an evacuation when his own military told him to do it. Because days before the terrorist attacks, Joe Biden hadn't even planned how he was going to get Americans out of the country. And yet, he would go before the people of the United States and say that the evacuation was an extraordinary success and he was proud of it. That was the day, ladies and gentlemen, that I called on Joe Biden to resign. He should have resigned then. He should resign now. He's not fit to be president. He can't lead this country. He's trying to shove critical race theory down our throats and in every aspect of our government. It's in the military. It's in government training. It's in our universities, all backed now by the power of the Biden administration. I have sat in the United States Senate and asked nominee after nominee, will you pledge to oppose critical race theory? Will you pledge to stop it from being taught, from being promulgated in the United States government? And the answer is no. They're radical on this issue. They believe in critical race theory. They believe that America is systemically racist. They believe that America is systemically broken. They believe that we're a nation of oppressors. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I've got news for you and for them. We're not a nation of oppressors. We're a nation of liberators. We're proud of our history. We're proud of our heritage, and we're going to stand up for it. We have a president who doesn't believe in American strength, who doesn't believe in American energy, who doesn't believe in American jobs, and who has no sense of the priorities and challenges that are threatening this country. I've got a suggestion for Joe Biden tonight. I would just say this, Mr. President, have some confidence in the American people. Show some strength to the world. Open up American energy production full throttle. Open it up right now. Put Americans back to work. You know, I notice that rednecks and roughnecks get a lot of bad press these days, but hey, here's the true thing. Rednecks and roughnecks are the core, the backbone of the American economy. And it is time to allow the good, strong American worker to go out there and start drilling for oil, to start exploring for natural gas, to start fracking again. Let them do what we do best. Show America, show the world the strength of this nation. Put America back to work. Open up American energy. And I'll tell you this. I am not willing to wait around to see what Joe Biden does. On Monday, the United States Senate comes back into session, and on Monday, I will introduce legislation to open back up American energy production in this country 100%. Open it up. Put people back to work. Get the oil flowing, get the natural gas pumping, get the biofuels going, all of it. We are the #1 energy producing nation in the world, or we should be. Joe Biden gave that away. It's time to take it back. And if you want to send a message to Vladimir Putin, here's a message to send him. We're going to be the ones who supply the oil and gas to the world. We're going to shut down your energy sector, and we're going to open ours up like you've never seen it before. That's the message we ought to send. That's a message of American strength. But this president, he doesn't believe in American strength. This president believes that there's something fundamentally wrong with the soul of this nation. And that, at the end of the day, is really what we're fighting for, isn't it? We are fighting to defend the soul of America. You know, Joe Biden has spent a year, if you think about what all of his policies put together mean, he has spent a year telling this country that we are broken, that we are backwards, that we are racist, that we are weak. He thinks the soul of America, he thinks the heart of America is warped and wicked. Well, I'm from the heartland of America. I was born there, I was raised there, I know the heart of this country, and it is true and it is good. And on the basis of America's heart, we will rebuild our strength. There's nothing wrong with America, there's something wrong with Joe Biden. That's what we have to take our stand on. This is the time to rebuild our strength on the principles and fundamentals that we hold most dear. To strengthen our families, to strengthen our neighborhoods, to strengthen our churches, to strengthen our nation. This is a time for American strength. The world needs America's strength. The world needs to see that we are ready to stand strong again. You know, Ronald Reagan used to say that in the 19th century, we built the greatest industrial economy that the world had ever seen. In the 20th century, we built the greatest technological economy the world had ever seen. And now in the 21st century, we seem to have spent most of it, thanks to our friends on the left, apologizing. And I don't know what in the world we're apologizing for. We have nothing to apologize for as Americans. We have everything to be proud of and to stand up for. Why is it that we should be dependent for our energy, our critical goods, on other nations, and not just on any other nations, but on our enemies? Why is it that Joe Biden has tried to make us more dependent, has tried to make us subservient to China and Russia and Iran and OPEC? Why is it that Joe Biden now has to go to the OPEC countries and beg them to increase oil production? I say enough of that. America is the strongest nation in the history of the world, and it's time we started acting like it. This is the time.
The Biden administration sucks.